Hi, I'm Luke.
Hi, I'm Al. This is Funny in the Money podcast. We're following the stories of people who've taken the jump into the life that they want to live and taking inspiration and doing the same for ourselves.
It does turn into therapy, but bear with.
Should we get into it?
Let's go. So, new guest, new man, first one with a hat.
That's me.
First time for everything, man.
First time for everything.
Yeah.
Who are you?
So, my name is Harrison James. I hail from Birmingham, or I should say Solihull.
Jack
Because
Grealish.
it's apparently very different. But yeah, that's me. I'm a musician, and I've recently been on The Voice UK.
Nice, congrats.
Thank you.
Does it
Cheers.
feel weird saying I'm a musician?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's you can. I'm a singer. I'm a singer-songwriter.
I guess, yeah, I think singer-songwriter is probably better for me, but I do still chordally, I'll create songs and stuff like that, so I don't know, I would like to call myself a musician, or maybe aspiring musician, but singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad on the guitar, so.
So we've got three creatives in the room.
Yeah.
Three weird souls.
That's it.
It is,
How old are you as well?
24.
24.
24, yeah.
So we've got to bring the experience and maturity to this.
Yeah, well, you can do that, and then I'll be a voyeur, I'll just watch.
Tea and biscuits, or...
Both on the soft drinks today as
Soft
well.
drinks, man.
What have you got a full-time job? Or are you full-time musician?
Full-time musician now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
so-
did you make that change?
Some point last year, just after summer, because I wanted, obviously, time to get my music together, really start pushing it out and doing it properly. I just had no time. I was doing events managing and I was working at Starbucks,
Nice.
just making people's coffees and that.
Yeah.
Barista.
Barista, that's it, yeah. Killer at the flat whites, but but I loved it because I'm quite.
That's the
a
episode
person.
name, done.
I know, literally. Killer
Killer
at the
of the
flat whites.
Flat Whites.
Yeah, but it was good, and I'm quite a people person myself, and I love creating moments, talking to people, and it was good, but it just wasn't fulfilling what I wanted really from life and how I wanted to structure things, and it just something felt off, which I'm sure some people who are creatives will tell you that's what they feel.
Sorry, as in working at Starbucks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you just
it's just timing was just off, and everything was a shambles when I tried to then devote my time to music. Even just at the weekend, I felt like tired, and I wanted to structure it better, so I just went straight into doing it all myself, and got back into the studio and just started writing again and busking as well, busking on the streets, man, full time. I actually work with an agency in Leamington at the minute called Phoenix.
Yeah.
They help me get gigs. Levi Washington, he's the head of the company, and he's just amazing. And then I've got one in Solihull called Original Entertainment.
Yeah.
And they just sort all my gigs out there. Obviously, I still have to get wedding gigs. But yeah, man, that was a big help for me coming back to, the realities of music, which is it can be quite difficult to find work that's fruitful and brings money in. So
yeah, exactly, man.
I had to kind of ask my mom and my family to believe in me, which they do, but in a realistic sense, you have to be putting money on the table still. My mom's very supportive in that way. She didn't really care, but at the same point, she was like, at some point, you're going to have to.
So just on that, did you like?
What
did
a
you
fucking
really
start, by the way.
Yeah, I know. No,
that was solid.
Well, he's just giving me loads to work with there.
Yeah, I've got to remember it as well.
So did you get to the point where you were doing that with working at Starbucks and stuff, and you were obviously hustling to make kind of things work, but then you realised that your energy is finite actually as well, and then if you go to a gig, you don't present the best version of yourself. You actually need that. So did you take the plunge to kind of say to your folks, your mum, look, I'm going to knuckle down and work on this, but I just need you to give me the support to be able to stay here. I'm not going to be earning that much cash to start with. I just need to fully go at this, and it will come good in time. Yeah. Is that what you've said? Is that what you've kind of done?
Basically, yeah. It was... it's pretty deep, but it was this one time I was walking home from the gym, and I was still kind of on bills, but I wanted to be providing for my mum as well, and obviously it's just me and her in the house, so You know,
Right.
we have people stay over and all that stuff, but it's literally just me and her.
Yeah.
So I was kind of walking home in the gym, real stressed. We're having an argument. Kind of like broke down a little bit in private. As private, I was just behind a tree. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to sort this stuff out because I care about my mom, but I care about my life, and I don't want to be like stuck. So literally from that day on, I sorted out the agencies, got everything in a kind of good cycle, and then money started coming in, and it was crazy. Like, it was just a split decision. Like, I need to go full pout or I'm gonna be in a rut kind of thing.
Unhappy.
So,
Yeah.
So
I think everyone has that moment where it just becomes like too much. Like there's basically a fork in the road, isn't there?
yeah,
Like I either just go all out and struggle for a bit and hope for the best. Not hope for the best. You obviously need the best, but or you don't and you stay in that path that everyone else has expected you to do, and told and stuff. Yeah,
And you get the what if, and the what ifs worse. Like, you know, like when you the idea that it might be uncertain and you might have to sacrifice things and you might have to like go at it, but the worst thing you can do is stick with the stuff that you know and always wonder what if, because I'm sure we've seen people and met people that have stayed with the known life and always worried about the not if, and then if you chat to them they just talk backwards about what could have been or that should have let on that, and then they excuse like now I'm too old, now I'm this now and that, and it is like a massive, it like takes real courage to do that. So fair play to you, man. Like,
and how's it been going? It's
good, man. It's sustainable, and at the same time I can see that I'm not going to get into any kind of troubles. Like at the start of it, that was my whole back, that I was thinking, damn, like I could hit a stunt in the road at any point and then it's, you know, it's back to making coffees or whatever. But now I feel like it's solid, that I'm on this track and I've just got to give it all I've got and see what I can do with it, like music wise. Got a studio set up in Leamington actually.
Right, okay.
Pretty cool. So, and I just feel like I'm creatively free now. Whereas before I was thinking, because even if I was to get a deal, like of course I'd love one. Like I want to find a company or label that can provide me with creative freedom and a place where I can just let it all out. Write my stuff down. It's pretty quick for me as well, especially with pop and indie music. So just get it down and get it out, and just have that.
What's your genre?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Or as everyone does, and they embark on their own creative passions. They're like, I'm creating a new genre.
I'm creating my.
What is your new genre that you're creating?
It's weird. Like it is a genre, but it's kind of alternative pop music. And a little bit of indie sometimes.
Favorite indie bands.
Big indie boy over here.
Favorite indie bands. Go on, give us.
Probably 1975.
Okay, right, I get it.
What did you sing on The Voice on your first audition?
Anne-Marie 2002.
On purpose?
Yeah. I mean...
Well, obviously on purpose, but...
You chose that? Y'all chose that? Damn!
Because Anne-Marie's the judge, obviously.
Nah, he just walked in and stumbled across it.
Wait a minute. Oh, she's judging.
Yeah.
No, you know what? I looked at... Because I provided my own tracks and they were like, yeah, that's cool. And then sent me a load back. And in amongst all of them, it stuck out to me. And I was like, because I'd sung it before and changed up the melody and stuff like that. Not the melody, sorry, like the arrangement and all that. And I was like, I reckon I could do something cool with the band. So we worked on the arrangement and how it sounded. And obviously you have to stick to it melodically.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can be a problem. Yeah. So
it was really fucking good.
Yeah. Was it good?
Really fucking good.
We worked on it. And
don't expose me, man.
It was crazy.
I've watched it. It was incredible.
You should have said, I'm not sure about it, so more people could.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it was good.
So were you, like, before all of that, so did you been, like, grafting away? Were you doing, like, open mics?
Yeah.
Were you, like... I want to get into some open mic stories, mate. You've been to
no. You tried to get me on one,
but it's like busking as well. Like busking, like that sort of thing. Did your fire and your spirit come from doing that as well? Because you were like, I'm gonna. Well, it puts you're quite humble with it because you have to take the the plunge would just be stood on the street and people are just walking past you, and you're like, I've got to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going.
I used to kind of frown upon it a little bit for some reason, because I used to do it when I was younger, and then obviously when I got back into like 9-to-5 job and stuff like that, I kind of was trying to come at music from a different angle, just almost get your songs recorded, get it out, like trying to be too perfect with it, maybe just to step away from that. But it's so grounded in, like, it's one of the purest ways of performing, right?
Yeah, massively.
Tom, Dick and Harry, and literally just all walks of life walking past you on the street, and you're giving your music to them, or covers or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was that kind of notion that got me back into it and back on the streets and really enjoying myself. Like, I thought, you know, it's pure. You know, you get some crazy stories. We'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, there's one that I've had to hide from my TikTok just for a little bit. But we'll get into it.
Yeah. when you, I say that just purely because when you're doing just before this is a shout. So me and my mate like tried to start a band, and I'm not claiming that I'm a musician in any sense or what.
1974.
Honestly, mate. All right, that's going in the next set.
Not aged up, no.
We were caught. No. But we started like playing some tune. He was way better than I was. You know I always say this like. So, but I wanted to do it. So he was like the singer, like lovely dude, and then I was like, I want to get involved. Because I always wanted to play music, but it was obviously clearly too late. And you know, like it was obviously too late. And do you know when on the X Factor, when that dude, when it's like the meme is like, oh, when your mum tells you to take your little brother along, and it's the guy that's like, ooh. I was the guy that was like, come on, move your body. I was that guy. So my mate's like, fucking lovely hair, like stood there schmoozing the thing. And then I would literally be the guy in the background on the guitar, like trying to play a solo, but it'd be like...
Yeah, concentrating on every
and I'd be
chord.
Like, yeah, no, volume's off, mate. Volume's off. Like, you should hear this. This is actually sick. But that also in that we wrote some of our we wrote our own tunes. Lost Commuter. If anyone wants that. But then, did you find like when you were doing the open mics and stuff like that? Because when you're doing it, people are just like, fucking sing Oasis, mate. And you're there like, I've put my like vulnerability on the line, and I've made this tune that's personal to me. I'm singing about something that I want, and people are there like, mate, play Wonderwall, man.
Yeah.
And
I've got a view on this as well.
mic.
Just to specify, I don't do open mics at all.
No, not now, but early doors.
No, early doors, that was literally years ago. But I think even when I was first starting up, I was like, I need money, so get me some proper gigs. So it was, but them gigs would still present, obviously, times like that where people are like, oh, just do this, do that. But I sort of dealt with it in a good way. I'll tell you, I'll do them in a little bit, but it definitely grounds you to kind of almost just embrace it as is. Because, you know, it's to do with the money side of things versus what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life kind of thing. Yeah. And obviously, it's still something I enjoy doing, but if I was to say it was more enjoyment than money in terms of gigs, then I would be lying, because it's really it's money at the minute. But in terms of me doing my own songs and getting on stage and giving people enjoyment, giving people what I create, and maybe even having it sang back to me, like that's the goal.
That's the moment.
Yeah.
And I still do enjoy my gigs, of course I do, especially like doing the originals or doing a song that I love to sing. But yeah, it's one of those. It's like a grind.
It's like football. You have to earn the right to play, right?
That's
you have
it.
You have to earn the right to play. So you have to do that. You have to do that.
Did you consider doing your own song on The Voice? I know we'll get into The Voice more in a bit, but
I did, but I didn't have the tools at that moment in time.
Right.
When filming and stuff, I just I thought we're gonna have to wait a little bit for that kind of thing. The thing is, I could have worked with the band, but then it's presenting them with like chords and then arrangement and everything, and I just thought, you know what, as long as I change a song up enough that it's shows who I am as an artist, then that's good enough for me. Kind of thing.
I always rate it way much more, obviously, when it's an original song, because we can appreciate how much goes into, like you were saying, the arrangement, all that stuff that is like behind it. But also to go in at that point is so fucking brave. On the first audition, especially when their backs are to you and stuff like that. It's
crazy.
It must be a different level. But what's one of the things that you said, so many things that I'm trying to like remember, is when you. No, it's gone from my head now. Oh, that's useless, isn't it?
Yeah, I talk too fast.
Yeah,
no. There's so much stuff. I wanted to like say something.
Who was your coach?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie.
Yeah.
He sang her song on purpose.
Yeah. Right. Oh, right. Okay. Tactical.
But change.
Tactical.
Was that who you wanted?
I'm just gonna Google.
I guess so. Yeah. But at the same time,
I don't know Anne-Marie.
see, I always.
She's massive.
Is she?
This is a I suppose this is like an exclusive, but growing up, I always wanted will.i.am.
Yeah.
He's so versatile. He's so different with it, and he embraces all forms of music. Where I know Anne-Marie does too, but it's almost just drawing to her as an artist. It's that kind of pop music, nice, like that quirky, like indie vibe. So that kind of struck me as somebody like I'd like to work with as well. But then at the same time, I thought, if I compliment her by singing a song, will that aid me into the conversation? But no, it wasn't really. That's what I don't really read into hate and kind of troll comments on the internet or whatever. But that's been one of the main things. There was an article from Liverpool that said, this is what you have to do now, sing one of the judges' songs and you get in and all this stuff.
Really?
And it's like, and then it was like old ladies like, oh, that guy sang Tom Jones' song before, no one turned, and then this guy gets through. Like, but it was.
Have you found that hard?
Well, I don't, because usually it's like Gladys's and June's and
Karen's,
Gerald's and like. And for me personally, it's my style is very much akin to something like modernist. It's very modern. It's very kind of like sometimes funky, but just upbeat. And a lot of the time, people of a certain age music's subjective. Some people want a ballad or a power ballad. And the thing that makes me laugh is I kind of want to see these people out on the street or at one of my gigs, because I do those songs too. So I do, like, maybe not the Tom Jones song, and I might not have been able to do it as good as Richard, because that was absolutely beautiful, but I just feel as though I do those songs too, and I have a versatility that allows me to sing different songs, not to kind of, blow my own trumpet, but I do enjoy a certain type of music, whereas I can also embrace that side. It's just I'm waiting for the right time to show that kind of side of me, like maybe live lounge or something, I don't know. But hopefully.
Mate, I'm loving this, because me and Elliot have spoken separately about like when you put yourself out there creatively, like you have to detach yourself from the level of feedback that you take personally, or that you are just like, okay, no, that's just what happens. And I found it quite difficult in what I do. So the same thing as you, I've got a creative. The whole reason I started it is to do creative stuff, but then you get clients and then you have to do what they want you to do to pay the bills, which I didn't think it would be like as heavy on that when you start your own business. It's like, yes, I'm just going to go be free as a bird and do all the things I want. But then to do that, someone's got to pay me to do that thing. So you have a skill, people need to pay you, which is fine. But there's some things that we've come across that are like, here's your brief, and they're very particular about it, and it's got to be to a T. And then you're like, okay, so for this job, I have no creative input. I'm just doing what I need to do to kind of make the client happy, which is fine. But then there's other things. At the start, they don't even pay, but they allow you to be your kind of most authentic self. And there's something that you want to be involved in that. I'm going to start called Let's Talk, and it's going to be recorded as like a small group of 5 men who don't know each other. And it will be talking about the topics of like divorce, relationships,
crazy,
death,
wow,
birth, miscarriages. Guided by someone who is trained in therapy, and she's a therapist, but it's not therapy. And
I'm just trying to get a free therapy session, basically.
It's not therapy. You have to sign something to say it's not therapy. Okay. But it's something that because I had a difficult birth with my daughter only like a few months ago, and like as a guy, you're there watching your wife go through something horrible that you can't affect, who's also going through something with your baby that you can't affect,
and you have to be the strong one, right?
And you're the one that's outputting basically positivity there.
Yeah.
You're shitting a brick over here, thinking the worst possible things.
Yeah, man.
So there's a whole process to go through that some men, unfortunately, never ever deal with.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. I write as well,
Yeah.
so get into that in a bit. I write some music, write some songs.
Cool.
But I write, so
Drill.
Imagine.
He's
it actually is. I've actually made a rap
proper
song.
drill artist over here.
Before we have a giddy one though, like I just want to say, obviously that's something terrible to go through, and you've got my love there, and I fully respect what you've had to go through and how you've had to deal with it as a man as well. Of course, you've got to be strong for your wife.
Appreciate
and your
that,
daughter,
mate.
And I really mean that, because that must have been crazy. But we're here now, and I'm glad that everything's good. And
Wasn't expecting that response.
yeah.
Thank you.
Look, one of the positive, like generally one of the things is I was actually thinking about this when I was walking here. There's a lot of stuff about like stoicism in men and stuff like that, and I think that some of the narrative. This can either be kept in or kept out, basically. But this is
All in over here, mate.
But stoicism, like like as blokes, there's a lot of this stuff that's like out there as if it's like really, really easy, or it's easier, or it's this or that, and there's this idea that it is, and like I don't actually think that there's anything that's been that easy. Like everything behind, there's like. It's like in spite of these things that are happening in the background, you still have to get up, you still have to show up, you still have to fight for every single thing. The way blokes talk to each other isn't necessarily like the best in the world. We don't communicate with each other in friendly manners. We're usually like, yeah, that looks fucking shit, you're a fucking dickhead, you look.
Yeah.
But you still get up, you still do it, and you just keep like believing in yourself and going. So I think there's a lot of stuff that's like where people are opening up and talking and saying, I actually think it's better for all different sides and different, isms like feminisms or masculinity or everything like that. I actually think by everyone talking about it and showing that we all share these struggles, and it's just this idea that you just kind of get up and show up and understand it. I think we're moving to a better place because blokes I think there was this massive period where blokes were going, wait, you're telling me that all of this is like really easy, but I've got all of this stuff going on in the background that I'm dealing with, and I just show up and just like get the courage to put myself in. I don't talk about it. I just use it as like a vehicle.
Well, silence was always viewed as a strength, wasn't it? Before?
And then you're like, oh no, you're getting it easier, and you're like, mate, I'm fucking on burnout here. I'm about to. I don't know if I want to be here. Like this is heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But apparently it's easy. I just get up and just go and do it.
Well, with that Let's Talk thing that I said I had the kind of creative idea for, I was overwhelmed by how many people responded saying they wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I say people. It was obviously men, but even females replying saying this is such a good idea, such a good idea. But that has no commercial gain, no commercial value.
Yeah.
But it would be filmed, and I'd want to film it in like a very, very personal, kind of like calm way that I need to think of how we'd do that. But that's where my creativity and kind of what type of impact I want to leave with people that I don't know. And then you still got the business side. So some of the things you said there is like you've got songs that you want to write, something that like you feel within you and you want to put out and you want to hear people sing that back and have those feelings. That's your like best self. But then to get there, you've got to do the things that someone else's song or what certain people in the industry want you to do to be on their stage type thing.
Yeah.
Keep that balance kind of like what makes you happy, because there is definitely like times where you're like, oh,
I've got one because sorry, this is a question.
Yeah.
One of those question things. When you were going for it, like, and when you were up on stage and you've sung the song, like the courage, like what were the fears that you had like going up. 2, when they work with that, I haven't watched the episode, so in terms of when the back's to you, like what is going through your mind, and when you're waiting for people to this. But that's so I could imagine like you're putting yourself on national TV. You're like opening yourself up, and no matter how much that you believe in yourself, you're still going to be so vulnerable. But you have to have that courage to get on the other side of the fact that you're so scared of being so vulnerable. In that moment, how did it feel? Like the juxtaposition of being like, I could get rejected here, and that debt, it's like debt, like it's life or death at that point, right? I bet you couldn't
take a deep breath before you answer.
I bet you couldn't see. I bet you couldn't see too much. Like at that moment in your life, you can't see anything past that specific moment. You're just like, this is either going to go one or bad way.
It's because I struggle not to be like a pessimist and like to look too far ahead as well. Struggle not to do that. But in those moments, I knew I had to kind of let go of all that. Like that was honestly a conscious thought. It just had to be their business mind, emotional mind, because that's one thing I kind of pride myself on. For one, my writing and the emotion that goes into that, but also with my singing, I try and keep it 50-50. And a lot of the time, I do struggle to kind of keep those two from kind of overlapping. Sometimes, you know, you've got to keep it business mind and emotional. So what that's like riffs, runs, singing to the best of your ability and not letting your emotion overspill. Same the other way. You can't have it too, like rigid and perfect. Like it has to be a good balance. And in that moment, it was like all of that going through my head, and then the fact their backs were turned, something I've never done before. I've always been able to, clock the audience members and see if they're enjoying themselves, or just almost, like eye contact is important. Like assessing, so it's one of them, like, are they going to turn as well? Like it's crazy. And then,
but then also, what do you do when they turn? Because you'll have that like elation moment, but then you have to keep your cool.
You know what? When Anne-Marie turned, right, it was mad. When she turned, I literally kind of breathed in, and I couldn't sing for like 2 seconds, and then I went back into it, and and obviously like put my arm out, like basically pointing to her, like, yeah, that happened. Because I had a moment where I slipped up because she turned, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
I was like, oh damn, like there she is. Looking all sexy.
It's just a massive there she is. And then bam.
It was crazy, yeah. But she was like kind of like, oh damn, it's my song and all this stuff, and it was mad. It was honestly one of the most surreal experiences in my life.
I just imagine if I was in that, I'd have probably got so excited. If she'd have turned off, I'd have just fucked the song off and just like, I'd be like, oh my God. Just been like, yeah.
That's a big thing to keep you cool.
So yeah, to be able to crack on and do it. My pitching would have been all over the bloody shop.
Yeah.
I'd have started trying to do all things.
Pitching for a
pitching
bit of new work.
I know, because I don't know if I mentioned this, but me and my mate started a band. But pretty much a full qualified musician,
comedian / musician.
So I know all about the pitching, mate. All right. But yeah, that would have been. Yeah, I can imagine that as being like a crazy moment. Just insane.
What a memory! At that point, I've just started watching The Voice again. I used to watch it quite a few years ago, and for some reason now, I think it's just the age that we're at, and it's just like, I really want something decent to watch on a Saturday night. So we started watching this series, saw your performance before we kind of made the connection and stuff, and we were loving it. We was like, that's class.
Wicked.
Yeah, so like completely from like a neutral
First
perspective.
Yeah.
But it's just, then you had to deal with, all 4 of you have turned. Now
you got 4 turns.
Yeah. It's a 4-chair turn. Yeah, man. Which is a big thing on the show, isn't it? It's like 4-chair turn gets like a big. Like,
But hey, Gladys and Gerald at home, they would just totally
fuck them.
Who were the judges on it now?
Oh, he's only pitching to Tom Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Well, national hero. No. Thank you. I am Welsh. I've lost the accent. So if he'd have turned around, I'd have been.
Well, actually saying that out loud, thinking that like we're 1 degree from a guy that's had to think Tom Jones.
I think I'd have been so So you're saying about is that what you have to do now just to get a judge to turn around and you have to sing one of their songs? I think I'd have like tried to preempt that. And I'd have done like a remix that just basically incorporated.
Well, he did sing it in his own way.
But I'd have been. I'd have done like. Do you know when they change it? And I'd have just been there like, who's turning around? Who's turning around now? And then no one.
You were my sex.
I'd have done that.
That works.
And just been like, so like, who's it? No, nobody. All right, cool, yeah.
Oh my god. So what did you? How did you mentally deal with that?
I mean, when they're all chatting to me, especially will.i.am, it was like I don't think it was shown, but it was like, you're a genius, man. The way you just switched up the song, man. I was like, what? Like, my mind was just blown. I was like, because everything has to be fit into a certain criteria, right? I mean, obviously, that's okay, I think. But because that's just normal. It's normal with anything. But speaking to them individually was just nuts. Like, I don't know what was going through my head. I was just like, kind of trying to just keep my cool, but be like grounded as possible. I was like, okay, don't act up, just be yourself, talk to them. Like,
did you know like beforehand? Had you like said if they all turn around?
Yeah.
Did you know who you wanted to like work with? Or did you get to the moment and go?
It's kind of an obvious one, not to be like. Obviously, with Anne-Marie, the thing is, some people would argue against that, but because I'd done her song, I would look like a total knob if I turned around then and said, yes, I've done Anne-Marie's song. She enjoyed it more than mine, which is what she said to me. And then I've gone with will.i.am. She'd be like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is this guy, man?
Balls on him.
Thanks very much for your inspiration, but I'm going to go to the fella next to you.
Like, he's that ballsy. He's done my song. Then he's like don't struggle to walk off the stage, mate. Like... Honestly, like, if I'd have done that, and will.i.am said that as well, he was like, obviously I'd love to work with you, and then I'll try and keep things versatile, and then he said, like, but I don't think I could even bring you over here without saying, like, go to Anne-Marie first. And then he said, I'll steal you at some point in the show if I can.
Yeah.
I'll just steal you instead.
Tom Jones said that?
will.i.am.
But then Tom Jones was just like, he was just crazy, man. Like, talking to a guy like that who's just prolific, like, just so much under his belt and so much knowledge, and having him tell you, like, you sound great. Like, it was crazy, like.
Yeah, that's insane, man.
Insane, literally.
Wow.
What's the and then like when it was, I don't even know where I'm going on that question, mate. Fuck that.
Well, no, I think I'll pick it up. Pass the baton. Is that did you watch it all live? Not live, sorry, when it came out on TV, because obviously that happened a while ago.
Yeah.
Did you watch it with like family or?
Yeah, we did the Clarendon in Leamington, actually.
Okay, nice.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we did the big pool table room.
Did you get wings?
We did not get wings. I had like I don't know what I had, but yeah.
Just dipping it with our ranch. Here I am. Got it all around your lips. That little bit like, oh no, just getting it. Here it is. Watch this bit.
No. I just had a few beers and that.
Nice.
Basically to soften the blow if it humbled me, which I think it did. It was like last October, so I thought I looked like a thumb. Everyone else enjoyed it. But
well, you've always like, if you have to watch it back, like you're watching that, you're like, it's you, innit? So you're analysing how you felt in that moment.
How I looked.
So then, what you're wearing, how'd you look when you pull that face, like.
Should have on my t-shirt.
Yeah, that t-shirt should be on. Everyone else is just watching it. No one else knows. Yeah. Like, no one else knows anything like that, and you're like, I hate that t-shirt. And then they're like, that singing is incredible. You're like, yeah, but that one hair's out of place.
That is me to a T.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely, it got me to a good place, because what I was planning to do, this is an insider right now. I was planning to really kind of chisel the chest and abs before the voice. It's going to sound really weird, but before the voice, so then they wouldn't know how much time had passed, but it looked like a really short amount of time. Yeah. And then I'm just there like, hey. And then it's just like it's really silly, but that was my plan. And then that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of still normal, like, body weight, trying to cut everything off. And then, so now it's like humbled me to a point where it might sound crazy, but I'm like I feel like I've been humbled now, where it's like, okay, now I can start.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been really good. Like, it's been a positive experience going through that, where I think we're all our own worst critics, right? And
yeah.
Whereas nobody else would be thinking anything about this. It's just all
like
in
you said,
my
they'll
head.
be listening to
you're
you
probably
sing.
you're probably sat there thinking, what's this guy going on about? But I think it was just something where I thought, actually, I was wrong to be thinking that way, and it's silly, but now I can kind of...
But it allows you to like peel back a lot of like worries or things that you had about yourself. Mate, it's like, actually, no one else cares. I'll just focus on
it's the other side of that is like the way that you view yourself isn't the way the world views you. So like you'll have that, and you'll be like looking at, I should have done this bit better or this bit, and like perfection, like artist perfection and stuff like that, when actually on the outside someone will just go, that was really good, mate. And like you're like, but you don't know the layers, there's this fucking huge iceberg underneath all of this. You've seen this bit and you think that's really good, mate. I've been worrying for fucking ages about every single thing that's ever gone on. Well, and then
it was actually alright. I was like, sweet.
It was 11 months from when you did it to when it went out, so that must be a lot of like, well, I guess you were obviously doing a lot of things in that time on the show, but there's still like a lot of worries of how it's going to then be perceived.
Yeah, it was
by Geraldine.
Yeah, Geraldine. Gerald Margaret.
This isn't the music I know.
Yeah, this isn't what I know. Why didn't do a ballad?
Yeah.
But I think that was, I didn't think about any of that stuff, and now I've seen it, I'm just like, just different generations, man. It's different. It's music that they would probably find hard to embrace, but then they'll be so quick, even though it's different to what they listen to jump and say that's shite, than to actually listen to, like, basically, that's the weirdest thing about TV. You can watch someone doing something and you don't know anything about their life.
Yeah.
And you just make your
quick
own
assumption, yeah.
Do you know assumption? This winds me up in football when you watch in the Premier League and somebody has a bad game and someone just says they're shit.
Oh, mate.
Just that one flippant comment really winds me up, because I'm like, hold on, wait. You're telling me that Premier League footballer who's been very good for 5 years is now shit? Shit compared to us Sunday League players who can't kick a ball straight. Like, it just, that comment is
obviously versus Warwick Church. And stuff
and like that shit, that is not shit. I know it doesn't. It's not meant to be like that, but it's just like.
You do.
It's like, hurtful.
Well, we had this.
I don't actually know where they came. Warwick Church team, like what?
Oh no. They're top of the league, mate. Don't worry about them.
White collar.
But it is that. It is that. It is. I'm trying to think what I was going to say. Then you put me off with the fucking church team, man. Put me off with the church team.
Oh, the white collar,
Warwick Church. No, I did clock it when you said it, and I was like, yeah, Warwick Church, yeah. And then was like, is there a church team, Warwick Church? Versus Cadbury's as well. That's
cup game.
Yeah, cup game, isn't it? Mid-com Cadbury's. Are they still knocking around in the mid-com Cadbury's Athletic?
Yeah, I think they are.
I watched one at like a school playground before. Cadbury's match, man.
That's fucking thing. I've lost my question, mate. So if I'll regather it one second, man.
Me off guard.
Me and Elliot now have become really top class interviewers. So we want something. Yeah. So your show's gone out. Yeah. Your episode even.
Yes.
What's this going to be?
Has a winner been decided?
No. I can't discuss that.
Okay. Let's try this again.
We already said that he can't discuss it.
No, I know. But he hasn't said it. So he hasn't released the answer.
We wanted to put that out.
Oh no, you can't. There's not going to be anything about to say. We're just maybe we've just predicted the winner.
Wow.
We don't know.
We don't know just yet.
No. But you must have to get really good at lying.
Yeah. No, I'm joking.
And I'm shit at lying. Like, I go red. I like all the tells you could possibly have.
Be like,
no, I just like, did you do it? Like, yeah, I did actually.
Mine was an eyebrow twitch, and sometimes, especially talking to girls, I would go like as red as a tomato.
Yeah.
And it's my worst thing ever, because this is just like a quick funny insider as well. Had bad acne as a kid, right? And I had to wear this thing called like benzoline or something.
I had that.
Bro, oh my God. And it made your face go like red. So then when I would then get embarrassed, which was very much quicker because I could feel the heat already, I would literally be like redder than anyone who's ever been
and
red.
Feel it as well.
And feel it like,
I used to have that.
Face is burning, now I'm red. This girl's not going to date me, great. I can't lie about not dating a mate and like.
I,
she wouldn't date me anyway. I look like a tomato, but yeah.
I had that. That was so bad. That was so bad for your skin. Like
you
it
look
was
like 20, and like
it was. Thank you
he's
very
loving
much.
that. He's loving that.
20. Yeah, cheers. I'll put that on.
Hey, it's part of growing up, innit? Like part of becoming the men
But
that we are.
I had that, man, and I had really bad acne. I remember going to
here.
uni, and I had it all over here, and I remember putting that stuff on, and it would like burn. It would like discolor your hoodies if it like went onto.
Wow.
Discolor your pillow.
Yeah.
And then it would like flake your skin.
Yeah.
And like, it's horrid, man. And then you used to. This is a legit true story. So I went to uni, like fucking away from everybody. I had it on, and I was like, my skin was really, really bad. And I went out, and I was out on a night out. It wasn't even that like, I think I was like relatively sober, didn't really drink, but I was really conscious of it. I don't know if you were the same.
No, I was the same.
And I was in McDonald's, and this girl came up to me, and she was absolutely pissed, and she was like, what? Your skin's so bad.
Oh
wow.
And I was like,
yo.
I'm going home.
Oh, mate, I just walked home. I just like, got a triple cheeseburger just to numb the pain a bit. But I was just like, one triple cheeseburger for the kid with acne. Yeah, I'll see you later, mate. And then just went home and then just sat there and was just like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, that was horrid.
Jeez.
Brutal, that.
Yeah.
It's one of them where it should be okay just for like maybe a pillow uppercut.
I was
just a pillow fist.
I was like, imagine.
just like a pillow. Oh.
Imagine if I said that to you.
Really.
Like, imagine if I said that to you. Like, who did that?
Probably break.
Yeah.
Probably break.
I'm still trying to regurgitate the conversation. The question. I had a great question, but I can't get there. So I told a depressing story
because
about
there's so many things that you're saying that are like
profound.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But no, we don't want to interrupt you either. But I'm like, I've got nowhere to log my question.
That was the other thing about the when people who haven't, once you kind of do it, you kind of get an appreciation of like there's music that I don't like. But I won't be like, oh, that's shit. That's this or this. I'd just be kind of like, look, it's not for me. But I appreciate that what they've put into it.
Yeah.
I can understand like what's gone into it, and it is that like if you're going to watch football. So I'm a Cardiff fan, unfortunately. But I'll go and watch footy, and like the fans will be like shouting shit at the players. Like I get that they're on a fucking absolute whack of money, whack of money. I get all of that sort of stuff. But, like, they'll be like, oh, he's shit. He's this, he's that. And you're like, mate, you couldn't trap a bag of stand. Like, you're clearly awful.
Yeah.
Not judging that. I don't mean to judge them. But, like, yeah. And then you're there, like, you don't know what that geezer sacrifices. Like, on the outside, probably doesn't actually, can't drink. Like, has to do it every single day. Has to train. And then you don't realise, like, if they have to move away from their families, they usually live in different towns. They have to travel like 3 hours to get in. And it's like this idea that it's the perfect life. And I'm sure you'll start going into that with the music and stuff like that. This idea that it's a perfect life that you're going into. But actually underneath it, there's so much ag.
A lot of work, yeah.
There's a lot of work.
It's like one thing I worry about in terms of relationships as well. I think with family, that's always something that's going to be there for me. Like, went through a weird patch years ago with just kind of, I guess, division and stuff. And then now it's at a place with just family, friends, everything, especially with just like close friends. Like there's some friends of mine, and obviously with my family, that's not going to change. But then in terms of relationships, like my actual like relationships in like love and different things like that, like, how is it going to work? What can I do? And there's a lot that sometimes you have to sacrifice, without like literally saying I'm going to be single. Like that's not what I'm wanting to do. Like you have to work around these things, but sometimes it can be difficult, I'm sure. And
does it worry you?
It worries me a little bit, but at the same time, I know within myself, I've been through enough, and I think matured so early that, without sounding like a,
that's right.
Bigging myself up too much, but like,
this is an advertisement on his.
No.
This is an advertisement. We need to put an advertisement thing across now because it's unfair.
But no, I think I think I had to, grow up quite early just because of my situation at home, other things like, especially with music. Even though I can be a silly bugger and like have fun and stuff, I still have that side of me that, you know, I'm pretty set in my ways and I know what I need to do. So if I was to come to a decision, I'd know the right one to make for that point in time. And I think I can't let anything get in the way of my music, but I will do my damn best to make everything work together. So that's the kind of person I am. I wouldn't say I'm selfish, but, you know, you have to try your best at it. And if it doesn't work, just go at it full throttle. Because there's nothing else I want to do on this whole planet. Like, this is everything I love. Like, it gets me emotional. Like, this is literally just... Even if I'm writing a pop song and it might sound all airy-fairy or whatever, like, it's still literally, I just love it so much just doing this, man. Like, making songs, working with creatives. The one thing I strive myself upon, especially with writing music, like writing lyrics, different things, I want to bring other people's creativity to the table as well. Yeah. And I think I pride myself on getting people to release that instead of just following a criteria or following... oh, you give me chords, let's chordify this shit. Like, I don't want to do that. I want you to play some original music to me. Obviously, I'll give some direction, and then I'll lay down the foundation, like the lyrics, different things, and we'll work on it that way. I want
collab
people to...
like, collaborate.
Everyone to collab, because then everyone's happy. Yeah. You know, things can get repetitive, especially when you got an album out, and you got to tour the shit for like 4 months. Yeah. But if people know there's a place in... their heart for that creation, like what you've done, it's got a piece of them in it, then it's going to be more enjoyment, right? And it's going to be more real. And that's what I want to create, real things, because slip-ups happen when, you know, your full heart isn't in it, when things aren't really...
And you can take... and honestly...
you can't fake it.
And
you can't fake that.
And, like, I'm sure you can vouch for this, like... You can tell when something's not authentic. Like you know when someone's like, if I tell a joke that I've crafted because I think the audience is going to like it and that's the way to do it, you can tell. Whereas if you do bits where there are real life things that have happened to you in your life, and then you've made humour out of it, like people relate to it more because you relate to it more, so you're able to put more into it. Just what you said about kind of relationships and like people outside, like okay, so we're probably on different levels and stuff like that in terms of where you've, like, obviously the stuff that you've gone to is probably elevated and chipping away, but for me, if I could pass on a little bit of wisdom here, there was always loads of bits where like stand up and all of that dream chasing for me was like paramount, and I would like see relationships as threats and like move them out of the way, or just be like, no, this is this. But actually, like, in time, understanding about relationships, and like you'll meet a person that understands that it's like a partnership to go through life with, and like that your journey and the stuff that you love is like part of the life for you to, you know, work in partnership with. If you're away, you'll have someone that goes, right, I know that you love that, that's cool, go and do that because I know it's so important for you, and that like partnership will connect, as opposed to being I need to like just do this, focus on my music, do this, because actually, you know, in the cold light of day when you go home and you've had a shit one, you're like, oh, actually, you know, the thing that matters the most is going home and having that person that's a partnership to go through the ups and downs of life. So you will find that, and you will find those people. So when they do pop into your life, I can say from experience, don't cut them out.
No, of course. And well, I feel like I have found that person, both for myself to give out that support and actually enjoy it and want to be there for that person. And also the same for me. It's just I haven't yet had that test of you know, going out there and trying the tours and different things.
That's what I mean about the worry.
That's gonna come. That's the worry, and that connects to what you were saying. Like,
is this like the external things that you get as well with going out?
You just have this kind of like, obviously we don't know what stage you're at with it, but like once it's out there, like fame basically. Obviously he's in a musician world where lots of eyes are on you, and then you don't, all those threats, they just are like, I can imagine, I've never been famous,
they will derail
would be but they would be amplified. Like everything you do becomes like a judgment of everyone. And you'll be thrown temptations left, right, centre. You'll be away for long periods and stuff.
Not walking sensations, temptations.
The walking sensations. But you will, like, and it is, and they'll love you for being you. And I can guarantee. Well, I can assess that. I'm not assessing anything, but I can imagine. Sorry, that was the better phrase. like people will love you for being you, and you're probably about to go on this like thing where people see the external version of you and not actually the authentic you that's sat at home writing about this and this and that, and like keep those people close.
And what you said about your relationship with your mom, is that like, because is a lot of your music kind of centered around kind of that, like are you, because I can imagine probably because I've heard it with people who like have such a close relationship like that, they would do their best to just put that person first all the time, even if it means sacrificing their own dream. So that actually your jump decision probably has like a lot of heavy weight on your shoulders, because it feels like you've got you've obviously spoke about it with her, but she's allowed you to kind of go explore, spread your wings, be you, but you're like, but there's so much of it that I've got to do for you.
There's a bit of pressure, but it's still, I think, the forefront in my mind, you know, you're always going to be a little bit selfish. Like, of course, I want to ground myself with this, but
P.S.
also,
I don't think you're being selfish at all.
No, but I suppose, like, you want to make yourself, but then once that happens, like, the first person I'm buying a house, buying a car, sorting out, getting health specialists in, chefs and all that is for my mom. Yeah. That's done. Do you know what I mean?
Can I be your mum?
Like, just so I can keep her as long as I can. Like, she went through breast cancer a few years ago, and it was crazy because she's such a beam of light for everyone, and she helps other people so much and puts everyone else before herself so much. We're in the car and like, she just said, just pretend. She was like, please pretend. And I got angry. I was angry that she hadn't told me. And it had jumped from stage 3 cancer to stage 4 in a matter of like 2 weeks or so. She had to send it out to America. And it was nuts, like, when we got those results back. But I just had to be there for her. And as you say, like, pretend. And also as a man, like, try not to show too much emotion, because it can worry someone when you don't have that faith and reassurance for them. You have to let them be selfish for their health as well. And it's not like she ever was. It's just not like selfish, I think that's the wrong word, but you have to create that bubble for them so that they're like, they can fight it properly.
As in, so are you saying kind of you have to show up and be this version of support, but actually in the background you've got all your own you've got your own worries and vulnerabilities about it, but for the person that's then going through it, you have to show up and be like, come on, we can do this.
Literally.
So then they get the good energy and the positivity.
So you need to, that is like so true, you need to do that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, she's absolutely fine now.
Okay,
that's the thing. But that's why I was touching on all that stuff. Like, obviously she's fine, but you never know. So to have that, to be able to have the money and be kind of settled enough that I can continue in music, but know that my mum's absolutely sweet for her and for me. Like, I fucking love my mum more than anything on this planet. So, and she's been there for me and supported me for so long that I want to repay that to her, and also to my friends, family, all that stuff. So it's like, that's in the back of my mind, but at the same time, yes, I want to make myself first and be comfortable and have all that creative space to be able to travel and see the world, make music from it too, and like give back what I've been holding in like for so long. Like, you don't know how like hard it is to keep everything in, because there's a way that I know I can get there, and it's difficult, but I still love it. Like the pop music I'm creating at the minute. I've just released a song called Stalling. My next one, Running, that's out on the 28th of October. Pre-save available from the 19th.
Spotify and things.
Yeah, Spotify. It's Spotify, everything, Apple, all of that kind of stuff. But it's something that I'm not, my heart's in it, and I love writing pop music, and it comes from my soul. It's quick, easy writing for me. That obviously, that might sound like I'm, selling it short, but it really does come from a place that I'm drawing from, obviously past memories and things. I don't know where it comes from, my writing, but I just quickly like apply it to what I'm hearing and make sure that everything's correct in terms of like grammatically and then but it's, I would still say there's so much of myself that I'm keeping almost secret, it seems, to the world, that I want to show, like in terms of my range, my vocal range, my versatility in songwriting, so like power ballads, piano, everything. But I have to go down this route. This is how I feel. This is what I feel from God. It's what I feel from myself. First, to get there. With pop music, I really want to reach out to a mass audience.
Yeah.
And connect with as many people as I can.
Yeah.
And it's not that I feel it's right, so I'm doing that anyway. It's that I love this kind of music, but I really want to appeal to a mass audience first to get my name out there, and then I want to give more after that as well.
I think wait, what you're saying about your especially what you're saying about kind of your mum, and then obviously like going off and doing your own bits, like the best way to give people happiness in their own lives is to be the best version of yourself and happy with yourself first, so you can bring that too. If you weren't going off and doing that and chasing that sort of stuff, you wouldn't be given the best. That's like a really powerful thing that you're doing. Although we all at different times get going like, should we just go and do this and just be safe and secure? But actually, by you going off and chasing that means that you bring back your best version, as long as you keep the lid on it. You know what I mean? On the front page of the Mail, just like, here he is again. Oh, no. Bloody hell, got caught in the lifestyle. But then secondly to that, and I don't like you. This is more of an open question, but do you feel though? So for me, like, I love Sam Fender. Yeah. Absolutely love Sam Fender. I think he's incredible. But the stuff that he's sung about is so intrinsically personal that actually he has then built this huge had gone into the mainstream audience by writing something so insular, as opposed to thinking, because it's so insular, he's actually like expressed then how everybody else feels. Do you think, just what you've said there, do you think that you would like look at doing something like that, because you said you're holding a little bit of yourself back? Do you think that actually that would then make us connect with you more? But that's the most vulnerable that you can be, because you're then going, right, how do I feel inside? And oh my God, are these people going to take it? And I'm just saying, I'm saying I could imagine Sam Fender's had exactly the same things about being so vulnerable, but actually on the flip side of that scaredness, he's now just, I don't know any bloke that like kind of listens to it and doesn't feel what he writes.
100%, especially with like, I think is it Dead
Boys?
Yeah. I love that song. Like, that song is so energetic as well, and like it's got so much momentum, where that's kind of what I'm trying to bring to the table as well. Of course, a lot of my songs have a connection with me too, so there's still some vulnerability in there, and it's coming from a place of the best way I can explain and express my music at the minute, and how I want it to, what I want it to do for people. It's putting motivation on tough times, whether it's in love or in like with work, things like that. It's putting motivation on it and basically amping it up, if that makes any sense at all. Like with running, that expresses like times where somebody that you love, they've moved away, but you haven't heard anything, like they literally haven't, and then you hear from someone, they're back in town, or they're doing whatever they're doing. Sorry. And then like, it's basically, one of the lyrics is like, I'll bench my way and keep my mind from drifting back to your face. So it's like, basically, I'll stay motivated, keep doing what I'm doing, and then basically get back on track. So I feel, for me, one of the things I can't connect with, like, I love Lewis Capaldi, I love Sam Smith, I love those types of artists, though they're pretty different now, to be fair. Lewis Capaldi, for example, he's so good at belting out ballads and so amazing in the way he expresses music. It works to be motivational, even though a lot of the songs are quite depressing and sad. It still motivates you because it like helps you get those feelings out and get it out, which I still think is important, especially in music today. But for myself, it's almost been quite specific with it and literally saying, let's get back to it, and like put in maybe like a sexy spin on it and making it more so like you're feeling yourself more, even though, you know. So getting back to that,
well, it's that the art of it is like, you know, most people or people they don't listen to the lyrics. People are just bob along to people are just bob along to a melody. But actually, when you're like, hold on a minute, they're saying something here. She's saying something, and then you're like, that's the art of it. It takes another layer to it, and you're like, oh my god, I fucking love what they're saying. Yeah, because like that's how I felt. Like you know Joe Dolman, don't you? Do you know Joel Dolman?
I've heard of him.
He's from around here, but like I listened to a couple of songs and they're just no, I do. Really like really really easy to go along with the tunes. And then I sat the other day and was like listening to the lyrics and I was like, oh fuck, like I understand what he's saying. He says a song about strangers or whatever it is. And he's like, maybe we should have just stayed strangers instead of going through all of the kind of heartache and stuff like that. And like, personally, I was like, like that's represented how you feel at certain times when you think about it. But it is a tune that you go, oh, this is a great tune. It's really melodic, like it's cool. And then actually, like,
well, that's because a lot of the time music's like background. I'm a lyrics man. My music's rap. Yeah. I rap.
You're saying drill.
No, I rap. He's serious. But I do you watch the rap game?
Oh mate, I love it,
mate.
Bro. I cry at episodes when they have challenges where the latest series.
I love it, man.
Actually, I watched it twice. His performance. So like, regardless of what the genre is, the music is. For me, like lyrical, and one of the episodes they're stood in an empty swimming pool and they have to talk about what it means to them being British, which I find is a fascinating
Was this
subject.
In this series or the series before?
The latest one, so the last series.
Oh damn, I need to watch that. I've only watched 1 and 2 and
is it third or fourth?
I love the Scottish guy, Shogun.
No.
Is it Shogun?
Yes.
The white Scottish guy.
He's just reckless,
He
isn't
was
he?
fucking brilliant, man. I was literally bro, like, you're really good. Like, don't self-sabotage here. Like, you're really, really good here.
He does.
And then, for anyone who hasn't watched it, he does.
But this episode in the empty swimming pool, JK's the guest judge or whatever.
Don't, because I've recently just had this guy come to me, he's connected with Naughty Boy and stuff, and he had a picture with JK, and I was like, if I could get on a JK track just as like a...
That will happen. I can see it.
I would love that.
Brummie rapper. I say Brummie rapper, that makes him like... He's like massive rapper.
Massive. But,
in grime, but he's a Birmingham fan as well. He loves it. But he... They had to do this, what it means to them to be British, and obviously... Most of them are from, or kind of have got ethnicities in Ghana or Nigeria. So to them, it's like a split. How they feel, and then when they talk about like things that like matter to them and what it meant for their mom to come over and like be single mom in a flat, and they go into that detail within a rap genre. I'm just there like streaming. I'm crying, but it's so powerful how.
But it is to look into like you look into the artist's life, right, and you realise like exactly like you've kind of said, we've peered into your life a little bit, and you'll be. Now we're talking about a chap on The Voice that's like done well and he's moving through, and then you've got all of that. But actually, we've gotten to know you on the other side of that. Yeah. And you're saying that behind it all, you know, you've grown up with your mum, like she's, you know, had breast cancer, and you've got all of those stuff. And it is that bit where you connect with people underneath that's like, oh shit, actually, we've all got. And I think that was part of the podcast as well, is this idea that, you know, you can see external things, but actually underneath it all, we have these things that we're all experiencing. But in spite of it, you're still like going after something else on the other side, if you know what I mean.
And we didn't want it to be like, or there's podcasts out there that talk to the most successful people out there. But ultimately, they started where we are. Everyone did, and they've evolved with it. But we're all humans. We all have the same like struggles.
I love the setup.
Mate, not ours. But I was saying on that Rap Game UK. It's just because you've just reminded me of it, and I only watched the one with Shogun and the one before. And forgive me, I can't remember their names, but. There was a Scottish lad that I really Scottish lad. He's from Aberdeen.
Yes, I know the one you mean. He did the song in the Aberdeen Stadium.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, can't remember what his name
Mate,
is.
I loved him, man. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah.
I thought he was wicked.
The Scottish were coming for that show. Like they were like,
Yeah.
they came through, man.
Yeah.
Like all of them.
It is great
I
because
can't remember his name.
There's a few. There's always one from Scotland.
There was
wicked.
Shogun, and was he glad? I can't remember.
Shogun and then the other guy, I can't remember.
I can't remember his name, but he's from Aberdeen. There's
a Scot on the latest episode as well,
was
but he
brilliant.
hasn't got a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
But the thing with the rap game as well. No, the point's gone from my head again. This has happened twice now.
You love rap,
Yeah.
which we established.
Oh,
From
the bad side of rap is that what you're saying about the like songs about music, money. Sorry, not music. About money, girls, all the materialistic thing. How much like your bracelet cost, necklace, all that stuff. It's like I'm listening to it, bopping my head in like going out or in the car or when you're working out. But that means nothing. Like I'm not taking it all in. And then there's other forms of rap that is obviously the conscious stuff or the deeper stuff.
I get that conscious rap. Is it Logic?
Lloyd Carner
yes.
as well.
Oh,
Lloyd Carner. He's
Lloyd
good.
Carner.
Addy Sullivan.
Jeez.
Are you a fan of Addy Sullivan?
Not too sure.
He's in that same pocket of people. Me and my wife have been to see him about 4 or 5 times. He's not made it yet.
Yeah.
Made it. But his... do you know what I did actually?
Maybe you'll be the opposite to Drake's curse. Maybe he's going to make it, then I make it, and I'm like, hey, you need to get down to Mill Street. This guy doing podcasts, for some reason, after that, things are going really well. I'm like,
Take that.
Yeah, just
Actually,
do some bets on me as well. Any point comes in.
Oh, that bodes well. No, what you're doing is class.
What's coming up? Like, what's next?
What's next?
Yeah, as previously mentioned, I've got Stalling's come out, Running's coming next. In terms of the voice, that is I think I'll let you see what happens next, but it's akin to the battles.
Yeah, love that round.
But it's a different type.
But it's different.
Yeah,
it's different. I don't know.
No, don't jeopardise anything.
No, do.
No.
Maybe just
no. Stop trying to get the viewership up and be like, all you're trying to do is get us on the front page of the
I
Mail.
want to
know. have swear words. Just like bleep out what I just said.
Yeah.
All I will say is, like, it's fun and it involves me on Anne-Marie's team, and that's it.
Okay.
How many rounds are there?
I don't know.
What episode are we on at this present moment?
Episode 2.
Episode 2
of the
series.
No, not of the series. Sorry.
There's more than 2, though.
Yeah, because there's been loads of blinds, but it's like from the blinds, it's then the second stage after that.
Yeah. We haven't got to the second stage yet.
Okay,
on TV.
So I know.
If you know about like blocking now is a thing. Obviously on my thing, Ollie got blocked on my audition. Anne-Marie blocked him, and everyone was like, "Why did Anne-Marie block Ollie?"
That judge can't get him.
Song.
They can't. One judge blocks another judge from getting that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Said they like him that much. Anne-Marie blocked Ollie Mers. Not just Ollie, like Ollie Mers.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie said you can't have Harrison.
First name. I know. I blocked him. Ollie. Yeah.
Ollie,
we go way back,
mate. Yeah, she literally blocked the guy, and he turned around with his head in his hand. It was great, but yeah, with that blocking thing, I think a lot of people are expecting some new stuff, and yeah.
And then but recording's finished.
Yes.
Like recording's finished, and then what you're doing? So you've got your stuff out on Spotify.
Yeah.
And then what's kind of like the next steps that you've got?
I think with everything, more TikTok videos.
Yeah.
My TikTok same as Instagram. That's Harrison James UK.
Yeah.
And then on Spotify and everywhere else, it's Harrison James. I can't speak for the weird streaming services like Amazon Music and stuff, but no, I'm joking. But I need to. Basically, I'm very much a hard worker, but I'm also lazy when it comes to things I worry about.
Yeah.
And I worry about making an artist profile for myself purely because there's 25 different streaming platforms, maybe more nowadays, that my music goes on to, and I'm only really focused on Apple, Spotify, and Amazon and stuff. So I'm like hoping to change them all, or get a manager that can just change all my.
Do
you know our podcast is on Amazon?
Yeah.
Is
it? Fucking cool.
Mate, we're in all the weird ones.
Go on, Jeffrey Bezos. And then what's
joking, Jeff?
This is also. I've got a chap that he does a great joke about Amazon. He works it. This is Jacob Nussey's joke, by the way. If anyone does this, I'm not robbing it, but he does he's like, oh, so I work for Amazon. The thing is Jeffrey's got like really big time now. Like doesn't even show up to the Christmas parties. I haven't done that. Cut that bit out because it wasn't funny.
Okay. I was waiting
for another line.
Sorry. Cut that bit out. Right, and we'll cut back in on this laughter. And then I just told them a joke, which was hilarious. Thank you very much. I feel bad. I murdered this dude's joke.
It's not even your jokes.
No, but bask in it though.
Don't put that. You can't put that in because that's.
You said about a busking story.
Oh, busking. Oh yeah.
Didn't go back to your busking story.
Yeah, we've finally arrived with what's it been now like.
An hour and 10.
3 hours or something. But yeah, so basically got some abuse off of Karen on Leamington High Street, the parade.
You're not our first guest to have that.
Gemma always gets that.
Bro, crazy. Like, she was going in, and then all of these, like, Samaritans. Well, not Samaritans, that makes me sound. It doesn't matter. Anyway, basically, all these people swoop in and start, like, aiding me and, like, sticking up for me. And
oh, wow.
And then in the moment, I kind of felt, like, sorry for her.
Yeah.
Because, for one, she pulled out a clarinet card and said that she was a musician and she'd be...
Oh, mate, yeah, fuck this.
She was like, I mean, not to diss... No, listen, just so I can be clear, not to diss people who play the clarinet.
No, but I just know what type of person
harassing and, like, you know, giving stick to someone who's singing on the street, most humble of places, and then pulling out the clarinet card. I mean, you're going to have to at least pull out, like, a vocal coach card for me to at least respect your opinion. So I said, listen, I don't care what you have to say. I wish you all the best, but...
What did she say?
Enjoy playing your clarinet, I guess. And she was like, she just went in. She was like, oh, this is just terrible.
Oh, fuck off.
She's like, this is just...
oh, wow.
This is just shit. She was like, and all this stuff. And I was like, listen, I don't care. I was like, I've had to work up to this point. Like, I know, without sounding arrogant, that I'm good enough to be on the streets. Like, I wouldn't be here otherwise. And I said... There's a saxophonist who plays here. Everyone knows him. Oh my word, it's repetitive and he's really loud, but I stay under that bracket. So I'm sorry if it's too loud for you, but you do have the option to walk on if you'd like to. And but I wasn't patronising. I was just trying to keep the peace kind of thing. But also like back in my corner, because usually I just say, oh, get lost and like just carry on.
Yeah.
Or just smile and let them walk away. And I had a nice moment actually. I spoke to this guy, I think it's Pete or Jeff or something, but he's the big issue man.
Yeah.
And I love him to death, and it's probably quite bad I don't know his name. But I just always talk to him. There's no point for me to say, oh, what was your name again? Because then I'd feel bad because we've been speaking for so long. And he's amazing. Like, he's like, I hope he doesn't see this, but like he's skinny Santa Claus.
Yeah.
He's just great and so wise and knowledgeable. He's wicked. Really nice guy. And he just said, you know what? These negative people walking around with negative energy, don't let them remember your face, and keep your grace and decorum and keep your energy, like, protect yourself basically.
No, you do have to.
You know, like, not
massively.
Spiritually or not to be like out there and all like, you know, but not even just to be skeptical, but literally someone's giving some bad energy. You don't want that person to remember you. Like, this is a job for me. And if she had like a son who maybe was a bit of a loose cannon and I'm out with my girlfriend, or just, you never know. You want to protect yourself, and confrontation, when you have to defend yourself, it's essential. But when you don't, who cares? Just get it gone.
Yeah.
Smile and wave, boys. You know what I mean? Like, let them...
Cheers, bud. Bring your clarinet down next week, all right? You can have this spot here.
Clarinet.
Clarinet.
Hey! Whoa! Nah, I didn't even think of that.
I'm here all week.
Literally. You know what? You've redeemed yourself there.
That was me. Don't give him credit. It was me.
No, that was me. Everybody, that was me.
Sorry.
I hope the audio was clear.
There's a song by Pastor Lou, again, rap, grime, called Protect Your Energy. Or it's called Energy, but the chorus is Protect Your Energy.
PA,
with Mahalia.
Yeah.
That chorus is
protect
just...
your energy.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's what you're trying to...
Props for knowing that as well. I know it's not mainstream, but I didn't know people listen to that. I love that song. That's literally like... Probably Mahalia's influence as well. That's why I regard...
She's from Birmingham, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Me and Melissa saw her live as well.
Oh, mate.
Before she was big. So I'm basically a talent spotter.
Yeah.
So...
Guilty as charged.
You know what? It's weird for me with like Mahalia. Like, there's a lot of connections in Birmingham. Like, before I started getting back into the pop game, like I feel as though I was hitting on a certain group of people in Brum. It can be quite dog eat dog, and I loved everyone individually. But what I was doing, I didn't feel like it was fully me, and I think they could probably sense that.
Yeah.
What I was doing, it was just like my roots, what I've been brought up on and singing, and I had to get back to what I'm good at, but embrace it and still have it obviously being heartfelt. But it was a weird situation for me then. Like, it was kind of, I was giving out a lot to that community in Brum, and I didn't feel like I was getting a lot back. It would only be certain individuals who have stuck with me through everything. Even now I'm back onto pop music, they're like, oh damn, okay, like I love it though still, like, and they'll still support just because of who I am. It's not to do with none of this dog eat dog or like, so it's weird. But yeah, man, I think Mahalia's come from that place that like is, I mean, I'm struggling to pronounce the name, but like I want to make it right. It's like Mahalia or
Mahalia, yeah.
She's awesome, man. Like, I've listened to her for years, and like her music is just nuts. But she's come from the same place as me, and hails from that place, and she waves the flag of Brum, and I want to do the same for Solihull and Birmingham and come up from it, because I feel as though I'm kind of a lost cause at the minute.
You and Jack Grealish just flying the flag for Solihull, man.
Literally, man.
Literally. Are you a Villa fan? Are you a Blues fan? Are you Solihull Moors fan?
I've never... When I was younger, I was a Villa fan.
Yeah.
And I've kind of come back to it because my girlfriend, her brother plays for Villa.
Okay, nice.
Under 25s.
Yeah.
So
look at the Blues fan over here.
But
there's a young lad chasing his dreams.
No.
Like you're like,
I just remembered because of our mutual friend Dan. He's a Villa fan. I was like, oh yeah, true.
Oh God, that bloody.
Not another one.
Yeah, Dan's influence, but yeah.
When I was joking about talent spot, I used to work on GRM Grime Daily.
Yeah.
They used to have a website. Well, they still do have a website, but they used to have a blog and stuff. I used to write for that blog, so I would listen to certain mixtapes and stuff like that, and like write the blog that would go on the website for free. I think I did it for. But anyway, I listened to Ed Sheeran's one of his first mixtapes, where he did a collaboration project with just grime artists.
Yeah.
And I did a review basically of it before he was like Ed Sheeran, and said it was class. It was amazing. The songs are really good. I tweeted what I did with him tagged, and he tweeted back.
Oh, really?
He's like, I really appreciate you listening.
What? That's nice. So, by the way, like you're saying, Drake's curse, man.
Hey!
You know, he's excited now, bro.
Saying, like, listen, this is feeling
yeah, he's feeling
positive. No jinxing. But
no jinxing, dude.
His tweet back
had everywhere.
His tweet back had full stops with no spaces after.
You can't do it now. Hey, you can't
touch
my wood. Yeah.
Touch your wood.
Touch your wood.
Touch wood. Sorry, hey!
Oh my God.
We all love touching wood.
He's a dad. That's definitely the most dad joke.
Dad jokes are everywhere with
that was that joke. But
did that one cross your minds as well? Did that fly? The touching wood.
The touching wood.
Yeah. Touch wood, Solihull.
No, like wood.
But
that.
As in the. Yeah, that's
why I went like that first. When you watch it back, you'll see that I went like that, and then you went. Yeah. We can, if you edit the laughter onto that bit, and you'll be like, oh my God, it's such a fucking good joke. Canned laughter.
Why do you want to manipulate everything?
Yeah, because that's what they're all doing on Live at the Apollo. Basically, there's no way that all of that is funny.
You're a naturally funny guy anyway.
Yeah, honestly, it's a burden.
When I try, it's a problem. But if I just have to leave it up to when I make mistakes.
Oh man,
yeah.
Just basically make a fool of myself. That's the funniest.
Yeah, be natural, man.
Me, but
I don't know about you, but you know, no further questions.
My heart feels full.
Yeah, mate, I've really enjoyed meeting you.
I do just want to say one last thing.
Okay, go on then.
If people have seen me licking my lips, it's a weird thing that I do anyway when I'm singing. But if it's been during this podcast, honestly, I've been worrying the past 12 hours that my lips are really dry. So I needed some Vaseline up in here, and I forgot to get some. So yeah.
You look gorgeous.
Very random.
Just on that, he's not a lizard. He is a human. we just want to clarify that.
Hey?
He's not. There's not some gorgeous food outside the front of the studio that he's salivating over and licking his lips.
Mate,
he just needed Vaseline.
By
the way, that is exactly what we're talking about. I wouldn't have noticed. Noticed now.
When
I watch this back, I'll just be like licking his lips. There we go. Hungry again, bro.
Oh my god.
But I've really enjoyed meeting you, mate, and I wish you all the best for your journey.
Yeah.
What I think will be quality.
I can't wait to
What
watch.
I think will be quality in this is a lot of the people that we've spoken to, such as yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be wicked in like 2-3 years' time to be like, look, do you want to come back and let's have a chat and just see where the journey's going.
I'll message you on Insta and say, hey, just give it one more month, and then
everyone's still on that one more. Yeah, no, that next one will be the next one.
Oh, that is the funniest thing. Just imagining like if it's like 10 years down the line, just one more year, one more year. Just
I'm nearly there.
But the moment,
then you'll be our age.
The Uber straight curse card hasn't worked.
Yeah. The moment that everyone thinks they're giving up, though, that's when it's just about to start.
Happen.
Yeah.
So like, just keep going.
I can't wait to see what you're about to do.
Yeah, really excited.
Hopefully, it's some good stuff.
But
yeah.
Top man, pleasure to meet you, man.
Thank you, man.
Cheers,
hey, and again.
Peace out.
Well done,
Peace out.
Peace out.